Well, now that it's past the spooky season, I can actually talk about spooky stuff that I did, because this last one came out on Halloween, but I was experiencing Halloween, and I watched Weapons.
Oh, did you?
And it was awesome.
Movie was good, wasn't it?
It was definitely the twist that I expected to not expect. Because last time we talked, I was like,
yeah. So they definitely drove you to a certain direction.
Yeah.
That you were sure that you were expecting.
Like, did the teacher do it?
Yeah, and you kind of picked up, right? Like, but you 100% did not figure it out.
Oh, man.
But I love that they were okay with, I love that they were okay with you being close to figuring it out.
This is just full spoiler warning. I'm going to talk about it. So,
do you really want to?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. Fast forward to the blah, 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 if you don't want spoilers, because Griffin wants to talk spoilers here, so...
Because my favorite part is the ending.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah.
So, like, if I'm going to talk about it, I got to talk about that. So the fact that it is, indeed, you find out it's a witch who's responsible for all this. And that the little boy, who honestly, in the middle of the movie, I was like, oh my God, it's the little boy who's responsible for all this.
I didn't think it was the little boy per se.
I thought it was like a possession story.
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
He was demonic or some way, and now he's just acting normal, that kind of thing. But the witch had been like, hey, don't say anything to anybody kind of thing. But for him to use like her spell or whatever to make all the kids attack her at the end was just
oh my gosh,
the most rewarding ending for that kind of movie. It was great.
Josh Brolin is fantastic in that movie.
I didn't expect to see Justin Long randomly just like appear.
Okay, so how great is it? Is he goes up to that house? Josh Brolin's character goes up to the house, wants to see their footage, and she's like, "No, get out of here!" And then, like as he's leaving,
I'm gonna wait for the
Justin Long's character comes up and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
hey," and you can hear her just sigh.
Yeah.
I love he like went behind her back and like totally got in anyway. But just some of the depth and energy and how he goes from he thinks the teacher is behind all of this and he's sure of it, but then like they end up almost teaming up together. Again, spoilers, full spoilers. Like we warned you, and it's a well-made movie, and there's a couple of I'd say. I don't even think I would consider it a gory movie, but there's some intense moments.
It's definitely some intense moments, but yeah, I don't think they're unnecessary. Like they were.
No, they kind of.
I mean, the ending, like all the kids ripping her apart, basically. But
because what she needs is she requires to stay young. It's basically the aunt of the family is a witch.
Yeah,
and she comes because she just needs to get. Like the blood of youth to keep her
something.
Young.
We never saw her like ingest anything.
No, yeah, it was never. You never saw what exactly happened.
But it's definitely like I need youth to stay young.
Yes, because you have like the parents are catatonic, and the little boy. It's like heartbreaking because he's like you need to take care of your mom and dad. Yeah. The aunt does.
And he has no idea.
He only knows how to do one thing, which is like feed them.
Campbell soup.
Yeah, like Campbell soup.
And he feeds his bully Campbell soup when he's catatonic in the basement and everything.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a heart-wrenching story, honestly.
And that's why it is. I didn't think at any point I didn't think it was the kid, but I definitely thought it was something in the house, and the kid definitely didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And they allude to a lot of that. But I didn't quite figure out what direction I was going. Like
that's a good movie.
You kind of learn pretty early that it's not the teacher.
Yeah, like you start off and everything's pointing to her.
Right, but they make very good evidence that it's not.
Yeah.
But they also show why they think it's her, because it's only this one classroom, and only one kid is around.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
I really liked the meth head who's breaking into the house.
Oh, my gosh.
The witch's house,
Oh, my gosh, because we could have ended the story so much earlier.
Yeah.
Right? But because of everything that happens with that police officer earlier...
Yeah, he can't call for backup, he can't get help, he can't,
And the other guy... can't get like he knows he's in trouble.
Yeah. Did a little police brutality.
Yeah, there's like a police brutality scene between like a meth head, and he basically says, "I don't want to see you again.
Yeah,
we'll call this even because look, you're definitely trying to break in."
But then the meth head breaks in, finds the kids, and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get the reward to the police station." So the cop's like, "What are you doing here?"
But doesn't know why he's. And of course, this is after the meth head is stealing silverware.
Yeah. Super
I
loud,
thought that was
too. I
great.
thought that was crazy.
Like he's just keeping an eye on the catatonic parents and stuff.
Still stealing stuff.
But it's when he sees the kids, he's like, he knows that there's a reward for them.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, that's...
But he sees he has to go to the police station to claim it. And who does he see? The cop that beat the crap out of him.
Yep.
And I'm not justifying this is like it was just raw police brutality. Police officer was having a bad day.
Gets stuck by a needle. Yeah.
Got stuck by a needle from the drug. But he was chasing the meth head because he was breaking into places.
Yeah.
Like,
but he was also
definitely
drinking.
He definitely was taking things to like.
The cop was drunk at that time though. He was drinking on the job, so
yeah,
there's a lot of
It was both of them were wrong, and that was why both of them did not want to see each other. But what
great writing does that make?
I've actually kind of forgot about that. See, you just brought it up because it was like, okay, so this is how we find out who the kids, and it's like.
But
nope.
The movie's like halfway done. It's like not even close.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, some of the characters and everything. The principal was kind of funny.
Yeah. I didn't expect that scene where he's running at her at the gas pump. That was crazy.
And it's so for those listening, it's the story is told effectively per character based on the linearity of their character from the start of the movie, right? So you'll watch sort of up to a certain point when the storylines kind of all converge.
Yeah.
I really like that style because you're getting a lot of context of each. They really build up each character. So you will see some overlap, but effectively it's like from the standpoint of the teacher, from the standpoint of Josh Brolin's character, from the standpoint of the principal, all the way up to basically from the standpoint of the little boy.
Yeah, you end on the kid. Yeah.
And that's when the story kind of culminates.
That really folds it all together, and you realize all the stuff he's been going through this whole time. And yeah,
that one's not. Weapons isn't A24, right? The studio.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I just know that's one where I end up liking. We talked about them before. We end up liking a lot of their films, but this is the Barbarian guy.
Yeah, this is the Barbarian guy, the whitest kid you know guy, which is so weird to think about.
Yeah, apparently horror is the new comedy.
I know. Same with what's his
Jordan
name? Keegan?
Jordan Peele, right?
Yeah, I just don't know who's who. I didn't have cable, okay? I didn't watch the show.
Because it's right. It's Keegan Michael Key and Jordan Peele.
Yeah. That sounds right. So
it's one thing we've learned since Halloween. It's sometimes segues can be spooky. I'm going to stop that because right now we're in the Lighthouse IT Solutions podcast. We are in the home stretch to my favorite holiday, Griff. It's almost Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man, you got 2 weeks till then.
I know, and I'm not going to make it. I'm going to make it. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
Got to fast for a week just to
I can do this.
Be able to eat all that, man. Huge amount of food.
I'm going to, oh no, what's his name? What's the hot dog eating contest guy's name?
Oh, which one?
Jimmy.
Nah. Chestnut.
Chestnut, yeah.
What's his name? Joey Chestnut?
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah. Or Matt Stoney, or there's a third.
No, we're talking man of the universe.
One.
We're talking current and past, and it's Joey Chestnut.
He's like devoted his life just for Nathan's.
And setting records. He really just wants to set records. And I think it's hilarious that he got disqualified last year because he was sponsored by a vegan hot dog.
Oh, really? That's funny.
So Nathan said that that's a conflict and that he wasn't welcome. And they're like, it's not like you make millions of dollars off of being a hot dog eating champion.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so he ended up winning some lawsuit or something against them and that's why he got to compete again this year. It wasn't sold that he was going to be there this year.
Dude, he ate 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes, and 4 Army soldiers ate 49 altogether.
Yeah.
And Impossible Foods donated $100,000 to Operation Homefront because of that. That's fun. Yeah, it's nuts, man.
58, I don't even think was this year's.
Yeah, Kobayashi is the name I was thinking. Kobayashi's the
Japanese guy.
Yeah, the classic. It's tiny little guy who eats a ton, and he does like the shake. He's got a Kobayashi shake that they all implement now because to like get it down. It's crazy, man. What a sport.
I'm down for it. It should be a sport. If American football can be a sport, so can competitive eating.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, we should hit some stuff, man. Talk about some news. Things have been going on. There's been a lot going on, actually. Yeah.
What if I told you that the surveillance password for the Louvre was Louvre, all caps.
Not really. Seriously.
So we're coming off of Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and we talk about use strong passwords. And
French clearly did not pay attention to our posts.
Well, the Louvre is very much getting a lot of flack because, to be very honest with you, there's a long-term history of the Louvre having very poor cybersecurity protocols.
But don't they have great physical security? I thought that was like the joke, because like Mission Impossible. Like
maybe.
Huh.
Or maybe just everybody thinks that so they don't ever try to attack it.
Yeah.
So maybe this wasn't an inside job. Maybe this was just somebody going,
wait a minute. It's actually really bad.
This looks like crap.
Yeah.
So if we go back to 2014, a report was provided to the French government that something needs to be done with the Louvre because it was discovered that the password to their surveillance system was Louvre.
Wow.
Your camera security system, the password is Louvre. And then there was another software package produced by this company called Thales, where the password was just called Thales.
Jeez.
Oh, and in 2014, they found a number of obsolete systems that included Windows 2000.
Oh, in 2014, that's definitely
in 2014,
not good. Yeah.
Give you some ideas. Windows 2000 was probably a decade past its
surely
expiration
they've
date.
got better since then. I mean,
So in 2017, it was reported that an actual threat could be dramatic because, again, the systems in place were not sufficient. So I don't know if the passwords were ever changed from Louvre or Thales, but even as recent as 2017, there's reports that say that they don't have their stuff together. And that's 8 years ago. But 3 years prior to that, they were warned and they did nothing. So is it just a matter of...
They've got a track record then of not exactly
caring.
caring about it. Yeah.
Now, normally we share some reports and links and things, and I got to be honest, this is an unverified report, but based on what I'm seeing, this seems really difficult to not see. But I've read some unverified reports that the server that ran the security system was purchased in 2003, running on its original installation server of Windows 2003, has been not supported by the vendor in years, but still exists. And we see this a lot with companies.
Yeah.
So this is a hard one for me to say, like, I know I've said it's unverified, but this is so common for us to see that companies don't invest in the support and they don't. And I get it. It feels like it costs money, but those companies are trying to stick around so that they can keep making you better products. The support is important.
Yeah. And then strong passwords is important too.
So we come back to those big ones, like, right? There's no
core
MFA.
four, man.
There's no strong passwords.
Clearly not updating. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a shame. I saw it was within 7 minutes too, which is just
the attack?
Yeah, the entire
I mean,
heist was 7
And
minutes.
maybe it was an inside job. I don't really know too much of the details on that side. I will just say that if it's an inside job, then they knew how bad things were. If it's not, then, I mean, this is probably not an issue you have, but when I walk into a place, I look up, I check out their access points. I've been in this game long enough.
issue. You have like a tick.
And I go, I'm not going to connect to their Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I know that it's probably not configured correctly.
Yeah.
Or I know that it's probably 40 years old.
Or a SonicWall
Or a SonicWall. Thankfully, they haven't been... Wait, they have been in trouble. And I think we talked really briefly about this. We didn't have a ton of information. But there was a SonicWall breach back in September, in which effectively the SonicWall is like the cloud management system of SonicWall. Allows you to access multiple tenants, multiple devices, licensing. It's also where your backups for your firewalls can be stored. Really nice, convenient feature. And that was, compromised. Just to really put it back out there. So in September, SonicWall finds some really weird activity involving their configuration backups that they have stored in the cloud. They start investigating and brought in Mandiant, which is kind of the big one. Actually, I think Google owns Mandiant now, but it's like one of the biggest cybersecurity experts in the world.
Yeah.
And it was confirmed, look, there was a breach, and the breach was contained no firmware source code or larger spec systems. However, backup files of customers' firewalls were exposed. Now, the backup is going to include the full running configuration of these firewalls. So if they are improperly configured, for instance, you would be able to say, oh, look, this one's not patched, or this one has this SSL VPN that is running, or this is the hashed password for the firewall. This one's listening on the WAN interface. Like, there's enough information about these devices, including the IP address and everything about the configuration of this device, that it is directly identifiable.
Ugh.
So the big thing we had said is, look, at the time we didn't know. They said that they thought it was cloud backups, but they didn't think it was everybody. But everybody said, you should just go ahead and reset your password, right? Like to your firewalls just in case. And it's a good thing you did if you followed that, because it wasn't 5% like was originally thought. It was all 100% of all. If you were backing up to the cloud, your configuration was exposed.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big one.
Now, interestingly enough, Mandiant figured out that the threat actor was using the API to access the data, was able to get through, compromise that, and that it was specifically state-sponsored. So they were looking for probably government entities or those that do business with government entity.
Yeah.
The published response, though, is like, hey, Akira has been attacking edge devices recently, including the SSL VPN just recently experienced, and Mandiant was able to confirm that is a separate instance. It has nothing to do with Akira. Akira was the ones that were going through and attacking SSL VPNs. The state-sponsored threat actor was specifically looking for firewall backups.
Yeah, and probably, like you said, government entities specifically.
So at this time, sounds like things are back to normal. SonicWall's following steps and kind of improving on things. But again, if you have not reset your firewall password in a couple of months,
yeah, better go do that. Well, I remember, probably like 4 years ago, we had a podcast episode that was like, oh my gosh, the first $1 trillion company is now here.
I know, right?
And I think it was Apple who made the first.
It was Apple.
Yeah. So we had a whole thing about that. Well, man, 2025, here we are, Nvidia, $5 trillion company. $5 trillion. Absurd. But it's because they gambled in 2021 or 2020 even. Let's go all in on AI.
I mean, completely ruined the gamer market, but yeah.
Yeah. And then
thanks.
Bada bing, bada boom. $5 trillion company. It's absurd. But that's
a lot of leather jackets for the CEO.
Yeah, that's a look into that one if you don't understand. But yeah, this is an absurd thing, and it's not going to be the last company hitting that threshold, obviously.
$5 trillion is an amount of money that I don't understand.
Yeah, it's an inconceivable amount of money. It is significantly larger than the majority of countries, GDP in general.
Yeah.
It's absurd. So wild to think about, but I wanted to bring that up in terms of AI and all that jazz, but my next story is kind of funny too because it's kind of a conspiracy theory.
Ooh, I like these.
I like a conspiracy theory.
I do too.
The idea is that, is AI dumber on Mondays? And I know that sounds kind of dumb in itself.
Yeah, why not? I'm dumber on Mondays.
But it weirdly makes sense. And it's kind of an odd thing. And people have been kind of like asking some questions about this to like Anthropic, for example. Like, is that true? And obviously these companies are like denying and that kind of thing. But
there's no transparency into how an LLM works.
As recent as September, Anthropic gave a postmortem that revealed that 3 infrastructure bugs degraded Claude's performance for weeks. So like, there's no transparency. We have no idea whether or not it is or not. And people have experienced this for weeks and months now, that Mondays seem to be things slower.
So I should just take Monday off.
Pretty much. It's kind of what
What's the most productive day?
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, none of this is backed up by stats, so like we don't know. But what would be the day that AI is used the less, so it would be best for you to use it that day? Sunday, probably. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, but that's a day of rest.
AI doesn't rest.
Yeah, but what if it's like, listen, I'm sorry, man, but I don't work on Sundays.
That means it brings a new meaning to data at rest.
Or what about Saturdays? You'd go full Lebowski and be like, it doesn't roll on Shabbos.
Yeah, maybe. I love the idea that this is a thing though, and I don't know if it's becoming like more popular with people, but it does seem kind of like more in terms of like coders and stuff, because it is also this article specifically was targeted at Claude. So, but I kind of do agree, and I kind of think it's
I mean, if you look at programmers, they don't really do their best work on Mondays either, or Fridays, or Thursdays, or
you'd think
Tuesdays and Wednesdays are kind of out there too.
You'd think like the whole idea that people have meetings on Mondays, so they're not working, so they wouldn't be using AI. But I don't know.
Is there some sort of weird connection there, right? Like, we don't know what all connections it's making. You're searching on a Monday, so does that matter to the inference layer?
Yeah.
Never thought about that. I would have thought no, but I also can't say it doesn't affect it.
Yeah. The part 2 of this is really just like, it's wild that these companies are also able to degrade performance without any sort of, like, there's no notice, So what are you paying for? It's kind of infuriating.
How are you going to know if it's degraded?
Yeah, secretly switching to cheaper models, reducing quality, deploying broken updates without people knowing. It's great. Loving it. But
straight to prod. That's what I say.
Just ship it.
Just ship it.
Well, that may be what ChatGPT did, by the way, too, as they currently have issues as well. A researcher discovered that ChatGPT prompts are indeed appearing in Google Search Console. And I don't know if that means much to you, but it means a lot to me. So, as somebody who would use Google Search Console,
it scares me a little bit.
I would be able to see what you typed into Google as a question instead of like kind of the stats, the obfuscated statistics that would normally appear. So I could see what exactly you were prompting. It's wild. That's not okay.
Why does Griffin smell so nice today? And like you would be able to see that prompt and you're like, dude.
I'd be curious why that showed up for our Lighthouse console, but yeah, that'd be
Well, I would assume it would be something that it crawled our website to find out.
True. Yeah, it could have. Yeah. There's also a bunch of issues with Atlas right now, but I'm not going to get into those because it's still beta. But yeah, there's some interesting things going on there that we can talk about next time. So yeah, this is obviously huge issues with privacy and that kind of thing. And also like this shouldn't be getting stored in Google Console. This also means things are getting stored in ChatGPT and all that jazz. So we're concerned. It's kind of the main thing there. So do you remember when Reddit made a deal with Google? So that Google would show Reddit pretty much all the time.
I mean, I still do use Reddit a little bit, and I'm kind of trying to be okay more because there's some okay content, but...
Yeah, still a little peeved from the incident.
But that whole thing where they got rid of the API and ruined a bunch of... Yep.
Well, either way, so basically the reason you see Reddit show up like as the third link minimum on Google is because they had a deal basically. And, Google's response to that whole issue was that it's the comment section of the internet. So Reddit has filed a lawsuit against 4 different companies, Perplexity being one of them, that's probably the biggest name there, for scraping Reddit data through Google's search results, paying for API access.
Oh, genius. So you can't go in straight through.
Yep. So since Reddit is now on the first page of Google, basically, for anything you ask, they're like, oh, cool, we can utilize that, which I don't know if Reddit really has a case for this. Like, that's all very public stuff. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. But
I think you do.
There's
not explicitly licensed. You're not explicitly licensed to use that. And I'm sure there's a Google use case.
But that's how ChatGPT has learned literally everything it's learned.
That's why it hates us.
This would open up, I think, doors for other lawsuits if this goes through. So, yeah, but the idea is that they're suing, and I don't know if they're going to get by or not. We'll see. So
that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I think so, too. So I don't even know if you use Apple Maps. Do you use Apple Maps?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do use Apple Maps occasionally. I am kind of between, honestly. But that's mostly because my partner doesn't like Apple Maps, so she uses Google Maps, and I'm kind of indifferent. So
I'm indifferent, except what if I told you this is so first world?
I have a first world reason, too, so I'd love to hear yours.
I want to hear yours first. I'm sorry, because mine is so first world.
She doesn't like using highways.
So
if we're using the Google Maps app, she has highways turned off, and if she has Apple Maps, then it's on.
Oh,
so it doesn't, because it's infuriated me a few times where we go on a drive,
try to
and I'm
figure out
like, why am I on back roads? What am I doing here?
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's very first world.
Mine's worse. The reason that I use Apple Maps over Google Maps
is your Mazda heads-up display. It works with CarPlay better.
Yes.
That's fantastic, man.
It'll show you on the heads-up display when you have to make a turn. All the navigation goes on the heads-up display, and Google doesn't do that. So Yeah, and I really like that. So, like...
That's pretty first world, but it's also pretty fair.
Like...
That's a feature that you'd miss out on, really.
To be honest, you don't need the screen in the middle. You
No,
can have that whatever you want, because the directions, it gives you the turn, it gives you lane by lane, it gives you your mileage to there, gives you the road name, tells you your total time before you get to your destination. Like, everything you want in maps is just summarized on the window.
That's the same reason I use Apple Maps when I'm in a city and I'm walking and I want to use Apple Maps.
It's very good for
because
that data.
My watch shows a lot better description than the Google Maps one.
And that is the other thing too, is it vibrates your arm to tell you that, hey, in a half mile, and then you can look at the heads up.
I mean, Google Maps does vibrate when you have something coming up, but you look at your watch and it'll just say open maps instead of the directions.
Exactly. So admittedly, I think Google Maps can overall be a better experience in terms of getting to where you're going, but Apple Maps is close.
It's close.
I compare them. So if I'm actually traveling someplace new, I will compare them and I'll see which one I like better. But almost always, I'm going to take the Apple Maps because it integrates with the car better.
Weird, yeah. I still find it wild that the only way to really get Apple Maps to work on desktop is to either use the Mac app or use DuckDuckGo.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's genius.
So funny.
I use my tablet, but that's genius. I never forgot that DuckDuckGo used theirs.
Yeah, but they hold like 3% of the market for search, so it's crazy. But anyways, you might not want to use them if you're not a fan of advertising, because 2026, Apple Maps is reportedly rolling out a bunch of ads following the Apple App Store advertising model. So basically, if you're doing any sort of advertisements within the App Store, you'll now be able to advertise on Apple Maps specifically. And we've actually talked about this a few times, especially with Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok, with Gen Z using their maps as kind of search engines for, map search, and them also having ads. And the idea that, is this going to, potentially have some sort of bias with, I'm going to look up a coffee shop, but Starbucks paid a bunch for the ad, so Starbucks is going to show up first instead of my local one that's even closer, something like that, So issues there that could be showing up, but it's not really any different than normal advertising. So we'll see. So speaking of some social media stuff, I've grown accustomed to this perception that Pinterest is good. And I know that's a weird thought.
I am on board potentially with this thought.
Yeah. So Pinterest feels like what your mom's using, like for knitting templates, right? Or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah. The CEO said recently, we're trying to make Pinterest not be toxic. The idea is that they're experiencing what they're calling aging down target group. So all these Gen Z people who are getting in and starting to use Pinterest because, it's a good experience. There's shopping with Etsy, for example. There's a bunch of stuff that they would like. But also, it's predominantly younger people. And the idea is that we're not going to be having a bunch of profanity on there. So there's a bunch of filtering and that kind of thing. So the idea is that they're trying to make it a safe space, a safe social media thing. There's a big...
And it's physically building things, and I think that's good for your brain because it invokes creativity.
It's a very creative brand.
Pinterest is not my thing, but I kind of do secretly love it. We've kind of gotten back into the bug of 3D printing. That's more of like building things with that is kind of fun for me. Pinterest can have that.
Yeah.
It's not so much making that market with the guys, and then stuff you can figure out how to build and collaborate. I think it's awesome.
Pinterest is set up really well for inspiration for building things or even acting on that inspiration with buying things.
And don't you just want something where you can go on there and just be non-toxic?
Yeah. They've even made something that is odd for social media in this time, which is a anti-AI generated content push, which, good and bad in some manner, but the idea that is they're not going to have AI content, or at least an overwhelming amount, similar to, Facebook and things like Instagram and stuff right now. But they're also making a ton of money from this because the Pinterest shopping is doing phenomenal. So this is all really good strides in the correct direction.
And you don't really hear enough about, you don't hear much about them. I think we've talked even on here before. Nintendo's smartest thing it ever did was say, we don't want to be number one. We want to be the second, because the consoles got so expensive. We want to be the second console. We always, like with the Wii, That's a little hard with the Switch, the way they're kind of going with that direction. They're kind of poking into that expensive territory, but
yeah, but with the
again,
Wii, let's do a cheaper console that could be widely available and spend.
It was all about the experience, and they were like, you go spend your $500 here, and then you will have an Xbox or a PlayStation and a Wii.
Yeah, doesn't matter if you have a
Everybody
PlayStation or
had
an
a
Xbox,
Wii.
you're gonna have a Wii.
Everybody had a Wii.
Yeah.
It's just you didn't necessarily have the Xbox if you're a PlayStation home.
So, like, if you have an Instagram or a Reddit, you probably have a Pinterest, maybe.
Right. So Pinterest is kind of like
Gen
one of
Z.
those things. It's like it may not be the number one visited thing, but it's probably the one you go to for inspiration.
And maybe that's also kind of the thing. A lot of these are people going to social media, for example, news or updates about friends and family. Pinterest is just not about either of those things.
It's about hobbies. It's about fun. It's about
you don't go
doing
there
something entertaining, or maybe it's about a big event going on in your life. Like, hey, we're going to throw a baby shower, a wedding shower. I want to know how to do Pinterest. You can learn stuff from that.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. So would I be wrong in saying that right now, the top 3 best, not based on traffic or anything,
Just experience.
but the best experience, I mean, it's my opinion, so it's darn near a fact. LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Sora.
Oh, God.
I'm addicted to Sora, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here live, me becoming addicted to Sora.
Yeah. I haven't really used it since we talked about
every
it.
day. I'm on it every day.
What's your experience been thus far? Because I haven't really used it that much.
Okay, so
and it's largely people like copying culture.
The remixes are fun. Yeah. I think the big issue is a lot of times it's the same content recycled. Like,
because of the remixes?
You can be done looking at Sora. No, because like Sora, sometimes people will do it as a different thing, or the remixes come in as a normal feed.
Mm-hmm.
So remix number 3 comes in, and you can go back or forwards. But I already saw that remix.
Yeah, you already seen
So
that.
repetitive content is probably the biggest issue right now.
That's an algorithm tweak, though.
And it is very much, meme city.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are on Facebook today and you see anything involving a doorbell and animals, it was done in Sora. I'm tired of people pretending these are real. No, somebody just removed the watermark out.
Yeah.
That is like a shtick on Sora.
People got to teach their moms how to recognize AI, man. I tell you.
And they're funny, right? Like some of them are funny. Like there was, I don't know why, but somebody had let's start off with a bunch of cats on a patio. And then it was like, remix it to be Gary Coleman's. That one was funny to me.
That's awesome.
He was like, what'd you talk about? What'd you do?
I saw one that was supposed to be real, where it was a cat who would jump and hit the doorbell constantly and ding dong ditch kind of.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, but that's AI. Everyone stop acting like that's real.
But so on Sora, it's great because it's AI.
It's AI.
You don't second guess it.
Yeah.
You could just have fun with it.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then if you're like, it'd be funny to me, and you can remix that content, right?
Yeah.
So Sora's number 3 for me. It's you get to a spot where you get to the repetitive content very quickly.
Yeah, but
so
then
you're
you can
not
stop.
on it more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can stop
and I love
doom
that.
scrolling.
You're not doom scrolling.
That's good.
I haven't quite dabbled into writing storylines, but I kind of want to.
I haven't done any of that yet. I'm excited to see what some of these turn into, because I feel like there's grains of goodness that it could do. Slop talk, that is. And
I'm not offended by this term.
But like you said last time, like TikTok and Instagram integrating AI, like this generated remixes, if you will, is not healthy because people are going to mistake it. But if you're in the ecosystem and you understand that it's all AI, it is safer. It makes me feel less, gross about it. So, yeah, I don't know if I'd put it at 3, but.
Well, but look at the competition. Who are you going to put in there? Because everything else is just so toxic.
Yeah.
Sora is slop, but it's fun. And I do legitimately think, though, if you're looking for just good community overall, I think LinkedIn and Pinterest will really give you some. You won't hate humanity. There's really some good things to glean from.
Yeah. I have a problem with LinkedIn just because I follow so many recruiters just based on our company, our clients and stuff. And so it's just hustle culture, LinkedIn guru this, LinkedIn guru that. And it's like.
No, I get that.
So my feed
I get that. Mine's not. Mine's completely the opposite. Mine's a lot of influencers and stuff, and a lot of the community. Like, I love that I can have a direct conversation with the CEO of Huntress. He's constantly on there.
Yeah.
And, there's constant feedback. And I love that there's these people where I feel like you grow relationships, whether they exist or not. But it's about making ourselves better, ultimately. Yeah. And I think Pinterest is about being creative and working on that side.
Yeah. And making yourself better is a good way to put, that's what I need as a bare minimum for social media to make it worth it for me.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they're all lies.
Yeah, it generally doesn't.
None of the stuff that you get in those is real. TikTok is fun until now you can't tell whether it's real or not. But everybody wants you to think. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden there's politics behind that. And I can't stand that. So I kind of joke about this sort of thing, but I also kind of don't, because it's fun.
It's a safe AI space.
It's 3-4 minutes, and I without a doubt know that everything in there is AI.
Yeah.
There's nothing human generated per se.
Yeah. And I don't think people will, especially because it's still invite only as far as I understand, I don't think people are getting in there not assuming it's AI. So
yeah.
You're pretty well good there.
It's pretty obvious. It says it everywhere, but people do have struggles with reading.
There was I think GDPR, or just Europe in general. They made a law recently about how you had to, if you used AI in whatever content you made, you had to make a warning about it. That's a big one.
You just make a blanket statement. AI may have been used in the generation of this content.
Yeah, just in general.
Put
it on literally everything. Everyone will start
then people will get numb.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that does it. Man, what a great time to be back. Hey, I know I promised when we come back we were going to have our State of Lighthouse. We're going to do that as a webinar. We had a focus shift, and I just want to be honest. I really wanted it to be an opportunity where I could get a lot of the team members from the company involved. So the State of Lighthouse is going to happen, but it's going to be not a webinar, but I'm going to reach out to each of our individual team members, like our leadership team, and bring them in and let them the ability to talk. So for once, I should be the one not talking as much. We'll see how that works. But at the same flip, it'll be, having Griffin come in and talk about our momentum systems, and Leif to talk about how Harmony's working. We've got Mark lined up to be able to talk about Navigate, the managed intelligence product that many of you probably don't even know that we're doing, because it's been relaunched the past 2 years. So a lot of AI and business analysis there. So I'm really excited about it. Plus, we've got some really cool announcements in general alongside it. So we will have it out soon, probably within the next week or so. Our goal is by the time you're eating turkey, you'll be able to check it out. I encourage you to go listen to it, learn what's going on, mostly because I'm really excited about the things that we're doing in here. And I'd love to be able to work with you somehow to grow your business in 2026. So with all that, keep your eye on the hub. That's where the State of Lighthouse will be published originally once it's ready to go. Keep up on YouTube. Keep up on other social media. We're trying to do everything we can to keep all of that content growing, and been real excited. Have a new lab video that should be up and running on our Fanville CA 400 series. I love this thing.
Super
I absolutely love this thing.
So highly recommend, honestly.
It's been a game changer in our office, and I feel like this is one that you should go out. If you try to do collaboration in a conference room at all, this is one of the cheapest solutions that you can do, but it's also one of the most comprehensive. It's all in one, does everything with minimum to hook up. It's simple.
Yeah.
I love it. There's very few drawbacks, and we get into those on that.
You do a pros and cons at the end, I really like. So
Yeah. But if you're going to compare it to what I think is the Barco ClickShare, that's like a $2,000 system all day.
Yes.
And this unit's like $550, $600, maybe cheaper.
But it comes with a 4K camera.
And it comes with 4K webcam.
So hard to beat.
We just leave it sit on our table, and when somebody comes in, they just hook their laptop up, and bam, it's on the TV. Beautiful. All right. With all that said, make sure you keep up to date all of those places. If you want any of the information regarding what we shared today, we always have our show notes at lighthousesol.com/podcast, or we publish those to the hub under the podcast button. Both take you to the same spot. You can then read links to the articles that were used to inspire our conversation today, as well as the previous episodes. So with that, have a great one. And I don't think we'll have anything for the next episode because it'll be Thanksgiving weekend. So we're going to probably be lazy. We might try to push one out, but we're also, we're kind of on the fence about it. So just in case, have a great Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you soon. Man, can't believe it's The holiday season's coming up, man.
Yeah.
All right, we're out.